everybody, it's Keith Gleason from Indie Comics Relay, creator of the Mighty Mascots and co-host of Indie Comics Relay Live. I'm here with another video for selling at Comic-Con. So I thought this one would be kind of fun. I'm going to title this one, What's in My Cash Box? Or What's in My Lockbox? Whatever one you want to call it. So here is something that I recommend people get. If you're going to do table at Comic-Cons, you need a cash box. Some people just put the cash in their pocket and do it that way. But I actually think having a cash box is more professional, and you'll have a bunch of stuff at your fingertips that you may forget if you just put cash in your pocket, you know. So let's take a look at it here, and I'll go through each item and why I have it here, you know. So here we go. Let me unlock it here. All right. So this is normally after every show I go through the cash and lockbox and just make sure, you know, everything's set up for the next show. The first thing I always do is I leave some change, because you don't want to be scrambling around as you're driving to each convention on the day of to get some change, you know. The best I find is if you get like 110, 4 5s, and then like, you know, 15 or 21s, that usually is enough to get you going, and usually you have to you won't have any problems.
What do you do when people ask you to break 100? Because that always happens.
Well, at that point, we either try to get them to pay with a credit card, or we tell them to come back. But, you know, I hate to do that because sometimes they don't ever come back. Sometimes you can ask your neighbors for, you know, change, but usually everyone's kind of in the same boat. So that's a tough one, because, you know, we've done different things. I think sometimes you've run and grabbed change from like a convenience snack center or something, you know, on the way, or other vendors.
I think sometimes it's other vendors trying to use you to make change for themselves too.
That's true. So you gotta be careful, but I'd say 90% of the time this covers us, you know. But I don't often prepare for $100 bills, because usually people can pay with a card. And then also right here we have a couple clips, you know, just for clipping signs and things like that. And then right here I have the PayPal card reader and the Square card reader. Out of the two of these, I recommend Square more than PayPal. We use both, but I think we've, in the recent years, been using less and less of the PayPal one. PayPal has like that recognizable name that everybody knows, but Square kind of does too. The best thing between the two of them, Square can function without a Wi-Fi connection, and that's huge at conventions, especially if you're at a big one like New York. That's the biggest advantage the Square reader has over PayPal, because PayPal needs a Wi-Fi connection. So if you don't have a Wi-Fi connection, Square will take the payment, and then once you have a Wi-Fi connection, it will download the payment to your Square, you know, account. So you won't lose money. So that's good. The fees are comparable too, you know. Also, I recommend getting these. These are Hall's. They're called Hall's Breezers, I think. You can buy them at CVS or any kind of a pharmacy. These are great for if you talk a lot at conventions, and by the end of day one, your throat's like all scratchy. You take these; it helps keep your throat throughout the weekend. Highly recommend popping in 1 or 2 of these, you know, every 3 hours or so, just to keep your voice going throughout the weekend. And obviously this is a huge thing, but sometimes shows are giving these away for free now because of COVID, but definitely need sanitizer. A lot of sweaty palms when you shake people's hands, so don't want to get sick. Keep that. This is pretty awesome. It's a pair of scissors that folds down into this tiny little thing. So if you have to make a sign, or if you have to, cut something, like zip ties or something like that. It's perfect, or tape. So, and then also, I recommend getting 2 Sharpies, one silver, one black for signing books. You may think, who wants my signature? But people always want stuff signed, so definitely get that. Pen just for writing normal things. So they have that. This is all the basic stuff, and I refill this after every show. Under here, not too much craziness, but I usually have little tags here to make signs, for price signs. We have another pair of scissors. This is to make holes in, we have enamel pins, so we can make holes into the backers for that. This is just another clamp to hold things. And this is the box for the square reader. And this is the box for the PayPal reader. Now this I keep for certain shows, and this is just sort of like my thing. But if you want to do it, I've had I had this lanyard on here. So some shows will give you lanyards, some won't. But I have this one because I like Ghostbusters first of all, and then I had this little thing at the end made up with my name on it in my comic. Just kind of helps you, if someone looks at your badge during an event, they can see who you are, what your name is. It's more to, I want to say perception, to make it look like you're a bigwig, but it kind of, I don't know, makes it look like you got something going on, It's just one of those things. Just helps you kind of stand out a little bit, which is what this has all been all about. So that's pretty much everything in my cash box. I like I said at the beginning, I recommend getting a cash box at least, and also some of these items, whatever if you're starting out, buy what makes sense to you. But this is always a good thing to have cash in the morning, so you don't have to worry about it. So after every show, I take all the cash and I take out everything but like this $45 and change, and I put it right back in there. It's just that money you don't think about that you should just have, So that, sanitizer, reader, and Hall's Breezers. So, all right, everybody, that's it for another episode of Selling at Comic Cons. We'll talk to you soon. All right.